Hi everyone. This is going to be a 60-minute Vinyasa flow. This is my cat Bruno. Sometimes he gets involved and sometimes you won't ever see him, but there's another one floating around here somewhere too. Her name's Tala. And if you have pets at home and they decide to wander onto your mat, I'm sure you're used to it by now since all of us have been home for so long. Just let them do their thing unless they're really distracting you. It's kind of fun to have their interaction. So let's start on our backs today. You'll lie down flat. Bring the arms down by the sides. Close the eyes. Place the left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go out of the mouth. Two more like that. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Last one. And you'll breathe in through the nose just like you did before. This time, keep the lips sealed as you slowly press the air out of the nose. Stay with this breath. Nice and long. Trying to match the length of the inhale with the length of your exhale. You're just special because you're safe. Starting our practice in stillness so that we can bring all of our focus and attention to the breath with the goal of hanging on to it, or at least continuing to come back to it over and over again throughout our practice. And then reach the arms overhead. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Nice long stretch on your mat. And hug the right knee in toward the chest. Keep extending out through the left heel. Then leave the right hand on the right knee. You can bring the left hand to the left thigh to press that down. And you'll just start to take some circles with this right knee, keeping the hand on the knee to guide it. It won't be that big. You can make the circles as big as you want or small as you want, but just go in the same direction several times. Starting to open up that hip a little bit. Then switch the directions. Go the opposite way with the circles. Just a few times. Hug that right knee back in toward the chest. Bring the left foot in toward the mat. Cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Take thread the needle. Bring the legs in. Unless it's too much, if you feel more comfortable with that left foot down on the mat, you can stay there. Otherwise, hang on to the back of the thigh. If you're feeling really open, you could reach for the top of the shin. Just gentle in this first hip opening. And set the left foot back down onto the mat. Right foot comes down to the mat. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. Extend the right leg out in front of you. Bring the left knee in. Get long on the right leg. Right hand comes to the top of the right thigh. Leave the left hand on the knee and start to take those circles, whatever direction wants to happen first. Just keep going in the same way with the circles. Getting into that left hip. And switch the direction, go the opposite way. It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. But listen carefully. Bring that left knee back in toward the chest. Hug it in. Bring the sole of the right foot to the mat. Cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Keep the left foot flexed. Stay here or bring the legs in closer. Reach through. Grab the back of the right thigh, maybe top of the shin. See what feels best as a gentle hip opening to begin. And if you feel like you're rolling all the way over to the left, even it out. Come over to the right a little bit. Then set the foot back down onto the mat. Bring the left foot down onto the mat. Extend the legs out in front of you. Reach the arms back behind you, coming back into that nice long stretch. Then interlace the fingers back behind the head, laying back onto the hands. Keep the elbows wide. Lift the chest and the shoulder blades up off the mat, and then see how heavy you can make the head so that you're not using the neck at all to hold the head up. You're using the arms and the hands. And then hover the heels, point the toes, flutter kicks. So hug the belly in, keep the legs engaged. You point the toes away from you, and then you just move the legs up and down as you stay with your breath. Then hold here. Reach the arms back behind you, hovering the shoulders, hovering the heels for 3, 2, 1. Set the legs down, set the arms down, walk the feet back in so they're underneath the knees, and then bring the knees in toward the chest. You can rock side to side. And hang on to the backs of the legs. Start to take some rocks on your mat. So you'll start small, and then each one will get a little bit bigger. Going up and down the spine. Maybe starting to find a little bit of a balance on the sacrum coming into boat pose, Navasana. And then you can come back into the rock. Maybe you come back into Navasana holding there. Do it a couple more times. Play with that. See how it works in the body today. This next one, hold Navasana. You hug the belly in, you point the chest up toward the sky, reach the arms forward, keep squeezing those thighs together. Breathing here. You'll set the feet down onto the mat, come onto hands and knees, finding your way to a tabletop position. So coming to all fours. Once you have the shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips over the knees, on an inhale, bring the heart forward. This should feel really nice to stretch out the abdomen. And then exhale, round the whole spine, bringing the chin toward the chest. Back and forth on your own. Close the eyes. Stay with your breath. Last round. Once you round the spine, stay there. Take an extra breath. Make your way to a neutral spine. Back to tabletop. Then from here, step the right toes back behind you. Lift the right heel to lift the leg. So you're squeezing that inner right thigh in, hugging the belly in, reaching the heart forward. Then reach the left arm forward. So opposite leg, opposite arm. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring the elbow to the knee, round the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. This time, inhale, extend. Set the left hand down onto the mat. Set the right knee down onto the mat. Left toe step back behind you. Get even in the hands and the arms. Then using the left inner thigh, reach that left leg up and back, just to hip height. Press out through the left heel as you reach forward with the right arm. Arms at shoulder height. Inhale for a little bit more extension and length. Exhale, curl. Elbow to knee, scoop the belly around the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend, get nice and long. Set the right hand down, set the left knee down. Bring the big toes together, bring the hips back, walk the hands forward, come into child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat. So this is a pose you can come to at any point in your practice, in this class or any class. Maybe you move the forehead side to side a little bit. Noticing how soothing that is. Then you'll look forward at the hands. Start to lift the hips up enough so that you can tuck the toes and come into downward facing dog. First downward facing dog. Maybe you pedal out the feet a little bit. With each pedal, see if you can lift the hips up and back a little bit more. You're using the hands and the arms to push the hips up and back. The shoulders are behind the hands, hips are way behind the shoulders. Eventually finding your way to stillness in your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, glide forward to plank pose. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Couple more of those. Inhale forward, plank pose. Exhale back, downward facing dog. This time, inhale, glide forward to plank pose. Lower all the way down to the mat slowly. Tops of the feet come to the mat. Inhale up, cobra, just a baby cobra. Exhale, release. Two more. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale, let that go. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, fire up the belly and the legs, lifting them away from the mat. Push yourself back up to plank pose. Downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward to the top of the mat. Set the back knee down. Reach the arms up for a low lunge. Left arm reaches forward, right arm back. So open the chest to the right, but keep that right knee pointing straight forward. And if you feel like you're leaning forward over the hips, reach back with the right arm more to bring your head right over your hips. You're nice and tall in this open twist. Look forward if you're not already. Left hand comes down to the mat underneath the shoulder. Right arm reaches up. Lift the back knee up. Right hand down to the mat, step back to plank pose. Left foot steps forward to the top of the mat. Right knee down, keep those toes tucked. Rise up to a low lunge. Reach the arms up. Lift up out of the waist. Right arm forward, left arm back. Open the chest to the left. Spread the arms out wide. Reach back with that left arm. Keep that left knee pointing straight forward. And look forward. Right hand comes down underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up. Lift the back knee. Extend the back leg. Right shoulder rolls away from that right ear. Left hand down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Look forward. Take baby steps, as many steps as you can, walking the feet forward until they're up between the hands and you're in a forward fold. Legs can be bent as much as you like. Keep the feet hip-width distance apart, fold over the legs. You can either clasp opposite elbows in front of you, or you can interlace the fingers behind the back. So this one takes a little bit more shoulder opening. The shoulders feel tight. Come back to clasping opposite elbows in front of you. Start to shift the weight forward more into the balls of the feet. Let the head and the neck go. Then bring the hands down to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. 2 more times just like that. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. This time, inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together at the very top and down in front of the heart. Coming into our Surya A's. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank pose. Lower down all the way to the mat. Inhale up, cobra. Taking our time with these back bends. Then exhale, release, tuck the toes. Knees can be up or down. Come to plank pose. Back to downward facing dog. Use the knees to cut the weight, especially if you're dealing with an injury or you're still building strength in these vinyasas. Bend the knees, look forward, step, hop, bring the feet forward, up between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together overhead and down in front of the heart. Stay with the breath. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank pose. Lower down halfway to chaturanga. Inhale up for your back bend. Exhale back, downward facing dog. So choosing when it's right for you to come into up dog. If that's part of your practice today, you can always stick with cobra. Bend the knees, look forward, step, maybe hop the feet forward, up between the hands. Come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together, down in front of the heart. Coming into your flow. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands down, back to plank. Lower down halfway to chaturanga, maybe up dog. Exhale back, down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, bring the feet forward, up between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up, bringing the hands together and down in front of the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Hands down, back to plank pose. Lower down halfway. Inhale up. Exhale back. Down dog, 3 breaths. Lift the right leg up and back. Press out through that right heel. Keep all 5 toes pointing down toward the mat for this one. Then on your next inhale, bring the knee to the nose. So stack the shoulders over the wrists. Hug that knee in toward the nose, lift the foot, then step the foot forward to the top of the mat, finding yourself in a runner's lunge with the feet hip-width distance apart. Reach the arms forward and come all the way up, crescent pose. You'll reach the left arm forward, right arm back. So same thing we did when we had that knee down. Open the chest to the right, keep that right knee pointing forward, reach back with the right arm. Hips stay forward and the chest opens to the side. Bring the left down to the mat, right underneath the shoulder as the right arm reaches up. Find that twist by hugging the belly in and opening the chest. Working to stack the shoulders, so one arm's right on top of the other. Bring the right hand down to the mat, coming back into a lunge. Step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together overhead and down in front of the heart. Hug the right knee in toward the chest. So you're standing on the left leg. Press that left thigh back, stand tall. Reach the arms up. Left arm forward, right arm back. Find that twist again. Now you can keep the right knee right at hip height. If you want to make this a little harder, you could extend the right leg forward, standing tall. Then reach the arms up, turn the chest to point forward. Everyone extend that right leg forward. Then step the feet side by side. Bend the knees, sit back, come into chair pose. Bring the hands together, right in front of the heart, twist to the right. Hook the elbow, get long on the inhale, twist on the exhale. You can bring the hips back to bring the knees back, keeping the knees right next to each other. So that left knee wants to shift way ahead of the right knee. But you keep that control on the hips to happen. Then come back to chair pose, reaching the arms forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Maybe a vinyasa, or you can go straight to downward facing dog. Plenty of opportunities for vinyasas, so never feel like you have to take all of them. Just take the ones that feel good. Maybe that's none of them. Left leg reaches up and back. Press out through that left leg to get it long. Then bring the knee to the nose on the inhale. Step the left foot through to the top of the mat. Stay on the ball of the right foot. Reach the arms forward and up. Crescent pose. Lift the lower belly. Reach the right arm forward. Left arm back. Feel the chest open to the left as you keep the hips and that left knee going straight forward. Reach back with that left arm. Keep the head over the hips. Then look forward. Start to bring that right hand down underneath the right shoulder, lifting the left arm up. Left hand comes down to the mat, neutralize the hips, step the right foot forward to the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up to the top. Bring the hands together and down in front of the heart. Start to shift the weight over to the right. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. Push that right thigh back so you stand tall. Reach the arms up. Keep the left knee at hip height. Right arm forward, left arm back. Decide if you want to keep this leg bent or if you want to extend it out in front of you. Maybe you move the gaze to the side or at that backhand if you're looking for more of a challenge. Start to bring the gaze back forward. Reach the arms forward and all the way up. Extend that left leg out in front of you. Step the left foot next to the right foot. Bend the knees, sit back, find chair pose. Bring the hands together right in front of the heart. Twist to the left. Hook the elbow. Get nice and long on the inhale. Twist on the exhale. Staying even in the legs. Come back to chair. Reach the arms forward and up. And exhale. Straighten the legs. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank pose. Optional vinyasa takes you to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Big breath in through the nose. Horse's breath, flutter the lips on the exhale. Then breathe in through the nose. Lion's breath. Stick the tongue out, bulge the eyes on the exhale. Come back to your Ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose, slowly out through the nose. Then lift the right leg up and back. Right knee to the nose. Bring it all the way through. Step that right foot forward. Stay on the ball of the left foot. Rise back up. Crescent pose. Take your time. Left arm forward, right arm back. Open the chest to the side. Find that twist. Left hand comes down to the mat. Right arm reaches up. Right hand to the mat. Step the left foot forward. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together overhead and down in front of the heart. Start to shift the weight over to the left foot. Hug the right knee in toward the chest. Stand tall. Reach the arms up. Left arm forward, right arm back. You decide. Keep that leg bent or extend it out in front of you, standing tall. Open the chest to the side and gaze with you, maybe even at that back hand. Bring the arms forward, bring the gaze forward, extend that right leg out in front of you. Step the feet side by side, bend the knees, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands come together, right in front of the heart, twist to the right. Back to chair, reach the arms forward and up. Then exhale, forward fold. Come up halfway. On the fold, step the left foot back behind you, then hop it in for warrior one. So heel to heel or probably a little wider. Reach the arms forward and up. Square everything forward. Hips square forward. Chest squares forward. Reach the arms up. As much of a back bend as you want. You can just lift the heart up. Maybe the gaze goes up. Then open it up, warrior two. So heel toe that right foot in a little bit till you have heel to arch alignment. And then here it's like that twist. You reach back with that left arm to open the chest to the side. Flip that front palm, reverse warrior. Then windmill the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Choose to take or skip the vinyasa. Left leg reaches up and back. Bring the knee to the nose, scoop the belly, round the upper back. Step the left foot forward, crescent. Right arm forward, left arm reaches back. Find that twist. Reach back with that left arm. Hug the belly into the lower back. And look forward. Right hand comes down to the mat, the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up. Press back with that right heel to keep the right leg long. Left hand to the mat. Step the right foot forward. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together and down in front of the heart. Shift the weight over to the right foot. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. Leave the left knee where it is. Reach the arms up. Right arm forward, left arm back. Find that twist with either a bent left leg or extended left leg. Stand tall on the right leg, whatever you decide to do. Open the chest a little bit more to the left. Reach the arms all the way back up. Face the chest forward. Extend that left leg out in front of you. Feet are side by side, standing on the mat. Bend the knees, sit back into your chair pose. Bring the hands together right in front of the heart. Twist to the left, hook the elbow, move the hips back, reach the chest forward, and then spin that heart open to the left. Come back to chair. Reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. The right foot steps back behind you. Then hop it in until you can seal that right heel down. Setting up for warrior one. Reach the arms forward and up. Square everything forward. Hug the belly in. Maybe the gaze and the heart starts to reach up toward the sky. Open it up, warrior two. Heel toe the feet. Reach that right arm back till you open the side of the chest to the right. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Be light in that right hand. Keep sending that left knee straight forward. Then windmill the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Any way you want, back to downward facing dog. Taking your time. Then bring the knees down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Bring the forearms down to the mat. And then start to walk the elbows forward ahead of the shoulders. Bring the forehead down to the mat. So notice if you're bringing the belly down to the mat, hug that in a little bit so you feel lots of space in the lower back and it's not dipping down. This is a pretty nice place to be for the chest and the shoulders. If you want more, you could bring the hands together like prayer and back behind the head. If it's too much, just come back to where you were. If you have the hands behind the head, start to crawl the elbows forward, getting a little longer. Stones chosen specially for you and I, who live inside the mountaineers gathered timber piled high. Then bring the forearms back down to the mat, hands back down to the mat. Look forward, walk the elbows back so that they're right underneath the shoulders. And keep reaching the heart forward, gateway of the arms. Step the feet back behind you, coming into a forearm plank. So it's like you're trying to squeeze the elbows and the feet together as you reach the heart forward. Find a little lift of the belly, but try not to sink or lift the hips too much. You want them right in line with the body. Everything's working. So the quads are shrugging up, lifting the kneecaps, and the heels are pressing back. So they stay over the balls of the feet. Press down into the hands evenly, keeping the fingers spread evenly. Then slowly hug the belly in, but start to set the hips down onto the mat. Tops of the feet come to the mat, you're in Sphinx pose. So you're hugging the belly in, opening up across the chest. Point the nose straight forward to keep the back of the neck long. So we tend to point the nose up when we want to be taller, or when we think we're lengthening the spine, but really we're pointing it forward, maybe even a little bit down, the very tip of the nose. So still finding that broadening across the chest and the shoulders. Keep that. Look down toward the mat, tuck the toes, fire up the legs, lifting the thighs away from the mat, hug the belly in, come back to forearm plank. This time, keep pressing into the forearms and the hands. Start to lift the hips up and walk the feet in as close as you can until the body tells you they can't come in anymore. And then you lift the hips up and back, get as much weight as you can into the legs. Maybe you start to look forward and reach the heart forward, but stay strong in the forearms and in the arms. Hands still pressing down. Breathe into the back of the chest, the thoracic spine. It's a stiff part of the spine. It's a big ask. but we're trying to open it up a little bit. Start to walk back to forearm plank, back to where we were. One hand at a time, plank pose, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up and back. Bring the knee to the nose. Step the right foot through to the top of the mat. Stand the ball of the back foot. Come up for crescent pose. Feel the arms in the chest here. Left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. So maybe you have a little bit more mobility for this twist. Certainly not the first one, and we just did a lot of heart opening. Bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Right arm reaches up toward the sky. Keep pressing that left heel back. Right hand comes down to the mat. Step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together and down in front of the heart. Hug the right knee in toward the chest. Stand tall on the left leg. Reach the arms up. Left arm forward, right arm back. Maybe on the right leg. Bring the arms forward and up. Face the chest forward. Step the feet side by side. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose. Bring the hands together. Twist to the right. Hook the elbow outside of the thigh. Back to chair pose. Reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back behind you. Hop that back foot in. Reach the arms forward and up. Warrior one. Forward facing warrior. Keep that right knee going forward. Hug the belly in. Lift the chest and the heart up toward the sky. Keep anchoring down through that left heel, squaring the hips forward. Then bring hands together, down in front of the heart. So you'll start to lean forward halfway. You're twisting again to the right, hooking the elbow outside of the right thigh. Keep that left heel down. If it's not happening, you can lift it up, taking this to a twisted lunge. Either works. See which one is better. Just don't let the right knee cave in. You want to press it into the elbow a little bit. And the elbow back into the thigh, just gently. Bring the hands to the mat wherever you are. Come onto the ball of the back foot if you're not already there. Then hop that back foot in like 6 inches, straighten both legs. Fold over the legs for pyramid pose, Parshvottanasana. Then come up halfway. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Float the hands to the waist. Come all the way up to standing. You're in a shorter stance. Reach the left arm up toward the sky. Start to come forward halfway. See if you can pull that right hip back a little bit more. Then bring that left arm down, either inside the foot, on the ankle, or outside the foot. Open the chest. Maybe you reach the right arm up. Pull both hips straight back. Hug the belly in, open the chest wide. Bring the hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank pose, Vinyasa. Left leg reaches up and back. Knee to nose. Left foot steps through to the top of the mat. Make sure the feet are hip width. Eyes up to crescent pose. Right arm reaches forward. Left arm reaches back. Open the chest to the side. Keep that left knee going straight forward. Right hand underneath the right shoulder, left arm reaches up. Left hand to the mat, step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up. Bring the hands together, down in front of the heart. Shift the weight over to the right foot. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. Reach the arms up. Right arm forward, left arm back. Open the chest. Maybe you extend that left leg forward. Stand tall. Reach the arms forward and back up. Extend the left leg if you haven't already. Step the feet side by side. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose. Hands together in front of the heart. Twist to the left. Hook the elbow. Open the chest. Breathe. Back to chair. Reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps back behind you. Hop the back foot in till you can get the sole of the foot down. Then reach the arms forward and up. Warrior one. Square the chest, square the hips. Find that bend in the front leg as you seal the back foot down onto the mat. Then lift the chest, lift the gaze, reach up. Bring the hands together, down in front of the heart. Start to lean forward halfway. Pull that left hip back if it started to crawl forward. Then open the chest to the left, hook the elbow outside of the thigh. Stay here or you can come up onto the ball of the butt. But revolve the chest open. Stay strong in the legs. Get as long as you can by reaching forward with the crown of the head. So show me why you're strong. Ignore everybody else. We're alone now. Come back to center. Bring the down to the mat. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Hop the back foot in like 6 inches. Then straighten both legs. Square the hips forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs. Keep the legs strong so they're not relaxed. Then come up halfway. Hug the belly in. Float the hands to the waist. Rise up to standing. You can keep the left hand on the left hip. Reach the right arm up. Stand tall. Just come forward halfway. Pulling the left hip. Reaching forward with that right arm. Then bring the right hand down inside the foot, maybe on a block, the ankle, or outside the foot. Open the chest to the side. Keep those hips pointing forward, and then reach that left arm up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Last vinyasa if you want it. Back to downward facing dog. Take your time. Make it a good one. Once you get to downward facing dog, bring the knees down to the mat, big toes together. Let's come into child's pose, balasana. Bringing the forehead down to the mat. Maybe the arm back behind you to give the shoulders a break. Slow down the breath. Let what we've done so far soak into the body. And then you'll start to make your way up to seated. Sit onto one hip. Extend the legs out in front of you. Scoot the hips forward and come down onto your backs, keeping the soles of the feet on the mat. So bring the arms down by the sides. Feet hip width distance apart. Hug the belly in. Point the tailbone up toward the knees. So you should feel a tilting of the hips. And that's what we're going for. Keep that. Just press into the feet, lift the hips up. You can interlace the fingers underneath you, or you can make robot arms, or you can just keep the arms down by the sides. So see which arm variation feels best, where you can press those outer upper arms into the mat and lift and spread the chest open. Then keep that tailbone pointing up toward the hips. You should feel a nice opening in the front side of the pelvis. Lengthen thigh bones forward, get long in the whole front side of the body. And slowly start to release. Bring the hips back down to the mat. Rest here for a couple of breaths. Let that go. Try not to counter pose because we want each back bend to build onto the next. Creating some momentum in these back bends. Okay, coming into another bridge. Press into the feet, lift the hips up, any arm variation you want. If you're looking for a deeper back bend and you feel open enough, you're welcome to take Urdhva. Otherwise, stay here. Find the length and space you can. Make sure you're using the back side of the body to support and stretch the front side of the body. Slowly start to release. Bring the hips back down to the mat, letting the hips be heavy and resting here for a moment. So you'll feel that lower back lift away from the mat. That's fine. That's the natural curve of the spine. And what happens when the hips touch down on the mat. Tilt the tailbone up between the knees, hug the belly in, lift the hips up. Third and final bridge or back bend of your choice. They said that is her time, no, 'tis inside. I kept the feelings close. And you took hold of me and never. Take one last inhale here. Exhale, start to bring the hips back down to the mat. Let them rest. Bring the arms out to the side like a T shape or cactus the arms if you don't have enough space. Widen the feet so they're toward the outer edges of the mat and the knees knock in. So the knees touch, feet wide. Feeling a little extra space in the lower back when we put the feet this way and the legs this way. And you'll heel toe the feet back to center. Hug the right knee in toward the chest. Leave the left foot where it is so we can gently release the lower back. Now you can start to extend that left leg out in front of you. We're coming into a spinal twist. Take this right knee, cross it over the body to the left. Right arm comes out to the side. Line up the head with the left foot, the foot that's extended out underneath you, and then bring the gaze over the right arm. So we played with this shape a lot, standing and doing lunges, even with chair. You might be able to go a little deeper without much effort. She waves to me. Bring the gaze back up to center. Hug the right knee in toward the chest. Set the right foot down onto the mat. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. Extend the right leg out in front of you. Left arm comes outside of the shoulder. Hang on to that right knee. Bring it all the way over the body, finding your spinal twist. Lining up the head with the right foot. So make sure that's all in one line, and then back over the left arm. So this top hip, the left hip, you're moving it down and away from you. So you get longer in the whole left side of the body as you twist. Bring the gaze back up. Hug the left knee back in toward the chest. Hug the right knee back in chest. Take happy baby. Reach through the insides of the legs. Grab the outer edges of the feet. Let that tailbone come down toward the mat. So the legs are pretty wide, feet over the knees, keeping them flexed. If you want to rock side to side, that's fine. Bring the knees back in toward the chest. Roll over to your right side. Use the hands to make your way up to an easy cross-legged seat. We'll do an external hip, which we haven't done hardly any of. It's been all internal this class, so this should feel really nice. Bring one shin in front of the other. Get yourself even on the sit bones. Reach the arms all the way up and fold forward over the legs. Any amount where you start to feel the hips open. And everyone's in a different spot with this. Some of us have way tighter hips. You're still getting a stretch right when you feel it. So don't pay attention to where I'm going or where you think you should go. Listen to your body. See where it's telling you you should go. And then relax. Stay with the breath. Keep the focus and concentration there so your mind doesn't wander too far off the mat. And you stay in the hips. Using all the resources you have to open those hips up. No need to multitask. Give yourself this time now. Start to walk the hands back in, back behind you. Sit back, switch the crossing of the legs, opposite shin in front. Adjust yourself so you feel even on the sit bones. Reach the arms all the way up. Fold forward. Might be in a different place this time. Take your time. Close the eyes. Let the head and the neck go. Start to bring the hands back in, coming back up to seated. Extend the legs out in front of you, flexing the feet, sitting up tall. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Slowly start to make your way back up to seated. Bend the legs, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Scoot yourself forward toward the top of the mat. Come down onto your backs. Bring the arms out to the sides with the palms facing up toward the sky. Keep the shoulders right underneath you so they're not going up ears. And then extend the legs out in front of you, taking up some space so they can be wider than hip width. The toes can roll out to the outer edges of the mat. And you allow the body to be heavy. So a good way to do that is with the breath. Let's take one last big inhale in the nose. Sigh it out the mouth. Gently close the lips. Relax the face and the jaw. Let go of the breath control. Letting the body going back to breathing on its own. Lying here in peaceful stillness in your Shavasana for just a couple of minutes, giving ourselves a moment of rest after all that work. I'll let you know when it's time to come out and enjoy Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. And stretch the arms overhead, getting nice and long like we did at the beginning of practice. Maybe feeling a little extra length you created. Then bend the legs, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Roll over onto your right side, cradle the head and the arm. Just lie here on your side for a moment with the eyes closed, taking your time, putting yourself back together. Breathe in a little deeper through the nose. Let it go out through the mouth. Use the hands to bring yourself up to an easy cross-legged seat, facing forward, sitting up tall with the eyes closed, however is comfortable for you. Coming back into this stillness and hanging on to some of this as you move throughout the rest of your day and evening. Bring the hands together to seal your practice. Bow the head to honor and acknowledge your heart and spirit, as well as everyone around you. Bring the head back up. Blink open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you.